Alrighty, I call the select board meeting for Monday, April 29th at 7 p.m. to order. Review the agenda for additions, removal, or adjustments, or any items. Anything?
Nope, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, public forum. Minute for anybody to speak. Or anything? Seeing none. 7 p.m. visitors appointments. Planning Commission candidates interview. Let's start with J. Tyler Masters.
And one option is to do them both together as a team.
We can. Fun. All right.
Have them
Tom
come
and,
up.
yep. Tom and Jace. J. Tyler. Tyler.
Yep.
Come right up. Have a seat, guys.
That way Tom can't sit back there and scope his answer based on the questions that are asked.
You want an introduction, or you want to start with your questions?
Give us a little bit of an introduction if you want.
Okay, good. My name is Tom Wallace. I'm making application for a position on the Town Planning Commission. Was born here in Bristol. I've been a permanent resident for 38 years, which is not my age. But had small businesses here in town since I've lived here. Have an affection for the town. Own my home here in the village. Past chair and member of the Addison County Environmental Commission, District 9. I've had some experience with that for that period of time, which has been good. I think I'm well qualified. I've been a real estate professional here in this area, in Addison County in particular, for 25 or 26 years. I've got a sense for what the housing stock is here and how things work. As far as towns are concerned, I've dealt with a lot of different towns and various permitting issues. I think I'm well qualified, and I'd like your vote.
Okay. Thank you, Tom.
I'm Tyler Masters. Not nearly as long here as Tom. I moved here just about 4 years ago. Moved to the state of Vermont about 8 years ago from Rhode Island, but native Western New Yorker. I've lived here. Loved the town from the first moment I set eyes on it. Driving down 116 and coming in the fall. Brought my wife down the next day and said, "You got to look in this town. This is where we're looking," and moved in. I've been in various positions. I've been in finance. I was a municipal bond trader with Payne Weber out in Seattle. I am now the maintenance director of the residence at Otter Creek in Middlebury. I've built custom homes. I've dealt with a lot of different planning commissions, boards, permitting, things in Rhode Island, Virginia, New York. I experienced watching planning commissions work with my father in my hometown, get to see what they did. So I think I've met several people in the town, getting to know the folks, and I have a genuine interest in making Bristol and keeping Bristol a great little town.
Okay.
Definitely like it. My wife and I have settled here and love it. We live right downtown on North Street, and it's a great little town to be able to walk around in.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for the board?
Question for each of you. Any specific things that you would like to bring to the Planning Commission to help move forward?
Well, I read the town plan. It's kind of like listening to golf on the radio. But it was interesting, and I think what struck me when I read the town plan was that it's evolving, changing all the time. And this town plan was done in just over 2 years ago. And I kept reading page after page of different things that had changed over that time. So it's obvious to see what the necessity of the Planning Commission is to basically update, keep abreast of what's going on, and as things change, culturally, business-wise, and everything else. So I think it's a good thing to have.
I think you'll find that the plan itself is 7 years What we did 2 years ago were minor changes to
Yep,
bring
well,
the maps.
2012 was
Yeah,
was
to bring the
understand.
maps in line, so.
I think it even started earlier than that, in '06, I think.
Well, yeah, it was a long process, but we adopted the town plan, I believe it was like 7 years ago, so.
And they're working on it.
Yeah, but that would lead to a longer time than 2 years to have all the changes that you've
Oh, yeah,
seen since
yeah.
you read it, so. I think last time around, there were no significant changes, if I remember right. It was just adding the maps to and the zones to the town plan and eliminating them somewhere else so that everything lined up.
Okay, we'll let Tyler answer that same question. Peter, if you want to repeat it, or you remember it, Tyler.
I don't know. Could you repeat it?
Well, anything specific that you bring to the planning commission that you would like to see that group move forward with?
Well, I'd like to see the town move forward, one, in energy. I'd like to see the town progress and give the town the choice of what they'd like to do. I'd like to help the town progress, keeping affordable housing for people so that the natives don't start to get priced out, like Addison County or Chittenden County is slowly moving down toward us. We all like to see our real estate increase, but down here you don't have the incomes that they have up there, and I see that pricing starting to encroach down here, and I'd like to be able to figure out ways to keep it affordable for the natives.
Anybody else?
I know you've sat in on planning commission meetings. Have you sat on a local one?
I have not been on the local planning
Have you
commission.
watched any of them? Because they are available.
I have not. How are they?
Through Neat TV, they're online. You can
Okay.
watch them. You can go to the town website and get to them. But you should watch one.
Yep.
I got it. As you know, we're hopefully developing a business park behind the fire station, and as you say, we've lived in town, that you see a lot of traffic leave town in the morning than come into town for businesses. How would you, either one of you, help create maybe more businesses in town, or even the main street? Sometimes we've had some empty storefronts there. How do you think the planning commission could help on that?
Well, again, I think in energy, it's natural gas. I'm disappointed that natural gas hasn't come into town yet. I think that would help a lot of the businesses downtown save a lot of money. It's a clean, natural choice to bring in. And we need to be able to do that for these local establishments to maintain their costs. You have to make it possible for people to survive. Bristol Core does a great job of bringing people into town, and they have to have the ability to be able to get their wares out affordably, so that people can pay for it. It's a hard thing to bring business in. You have to be able to encourage folks to be able to come in. What this business park, what they're aiming to bring in, I'm not sure. You see places like Bees Wrap move out of town. They could have used some encouragement to stay in town, a way to be able to be here. They have, a small facility still down the street, but they've taken over down in Middlebury, where they're able to expand a little bit and grow.
And we also, maybe before your time, we also lost Autumn Hart. That had 200, 250 employees, 3 shifts.
Yeah, I recognize the name, but
Yeah, they were
Familiar with
over
That
there.
wasn't the first either.
That wasn't the first either, Tom, no.
And
So-
what happens is that basically I think it was all a lack of certain infrastructure for growth. And namely sewer, but that can come and go. But that and traffic improvements today down there by Airport Drive, you just saw the traffic was back up there because of the road construction and so on. But that's going to need some kind of help there if we're going to have a business park there for ingress, egress. And so various things like that are going to be important for us to be able to address as far as the planning commission is concerned. And infrastructure, though, I think is a big issue for keeping businesses here and being able to grow.
How do you both feel about subdivision regs?
That is one of the things that I was reading in the town plan that had recognized on the environmental board is the thrust toward clusters. And I think that's probably going to be one of the ways that you're going to be able to expand the growth. You've got one going on North Street here now, I think, coming up. And I think that's the kind of thing, the co-housing over here was a good concept, I think. And it got people in here, increased the tax base, and had more, I wouldn't say that all of that is affordable housing for many of the local people, but it was still an improvement. And I think we can do more of that as far as subdivisions are concerned.
Okay, we'll let Tyler answer that, Michelle's question.
You know, as far as co-housing goes, I think, you know, it is a nice little community. It's by far not what I envision in the way of affordable housing. You know, $350,000 for a little house right there is a little nuts. I like the idea of cluster housing. I liked that idea when it came in. I thought they did a very nice job with it, but it needs to be more affordable. Something like that, you need to hold the cost down. They spent a lot rehabbing some of the old homes, which was nice. You know, the new place up on North Street, I was a little disappointed that they actually took the old house down. I thought that would have been nice to have saved. But I look forward to having things like that. Again, sewage is going to be a tough part with places like that. Possibly in that development, they can do a sewage where everybody shares on the sewage and
Talking about the one on North Street?
on North
They
Street.
can do
Yeah.
that.
It is going to be.
Yeah, we did that down in Rhode Island in a couple of developments that I helped build, and it worked out quite well.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, well, we thank you, and we're gonna, we'll probably be notified tomorrow, I would imagine.
Very good. Thank you for
Okay.
your
All right.
consideration.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Okay, Energy Committee candidates, Lance and Stephen, would like to come up?
Hi,
Stephen?
nice to meet you. Thank you.
Okay, give us a little, we start with Stephen, give us a little bit why you wanna be on the Energy Committee and what you can bring to
Sure.
it.
I've been working professionally in energy and energy efficiency in particular for at least 20 years, depending on how you do the math. I started in 1990. I was hired to be the technical specialist for the Weatherization Assistance Program, and I put in a few years in that program, which is a great thing for us. I did the audits and I wrote specifications for a wide variety of measures, including insulation, heating systems, ventilation, and moisture control. Then I worked for Central Vermont Public Service for about 4 years, doing electric audits around state for them. And then I moved on to the Vermont Superintendents Association, where I directed the statewide school energy management program. So I did project development in schools around the state. I presently work as a communications specialist in right-of-way for utilities. I've been doing that for 7 years. And I'm eager to serve because I think I have a lot of information and interest in promoting the efficient use of energy and the economical use of energy.
Okay, Lance, give us some.
Wow. Definitely don't have that beat. I'm a taxpayer since 2005. I'm an electrical engineer. I got my master's of science degree. I have worked on some power distribution systems. I have done some, I don't know, civil engineering towards, I don't know if you've seen the lights at the airport parking garage, but that's my claim to fame as an intern. I definitely do not have the background that Stephen has, but I do have the desire to participate in community government.
Okay. Okay, any questions from the board? Michelle, Ted?
Both of those are very thorough.
Yeah. I thought those were- Okay.
We have one or two?
One per year.
Yeah.
Whichever one you pick or don't pick, well, the other one be on standby, because I'm sure there'll be another opening.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're going to, at the end of the meeting tonight, we're going to make our decision and we'll let you guys know tomorrow.
Great. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
And for the next item, Carla's not able to be here tonight, so we will reschedule her visit.
All right, so why don't we, Eric, want to come on up? Request from Public Works Foreman to purchase a new roadside mower. Right ahead,
Yeah, we didn't have anything in the packet.
so we didn't have anything, so.
No, I just got them.
Can you give us just a brief, you talked with me yesterday, Eric,
Yeah.
the age of this one and what it's, I guess,
Explain why we need
Yeah.
to fix it.
yeah, I guess so.
The thing, it's between 11 and 12 years old now. We've had to rebuild, well, not rebuild. We've had to repair it in the last 2-3 years. We've had to weld up the supports. And out on the deck, it's starting to where she's gonna start poking through with the blades at the top. And out there where the gearbox is, Mike's had to weld that at least twice per mowing season last year. Because of the vibration and stuff like that, it cracks and he'd have to re-weld it. And it's got an oil leak on it for where the reservoir is. He's tried to weld it once, but with oil you just can't get it all out, so it doesn't stick good, and so it's leaking again now. It's tired, and when it's hot, it doesn't. In the afternoon, it doesn't mow good because of the oil. And it's an oil-driven gearbox. So
It's a hydraulic mower?
yeah, it's a hydraulic mower. The PTO drives a pump, which then the oil drives the gear on the deck.
Yeah.
So in the summertime when it gets hot, the oil of course gets hot, and then it thins out, loses its power, and it doesn't cut very good.
Now, you had said yesterday that actually Pete was going to replace this the year before he got done.
Pete was going to
He's been
replace
gone a
it the
year
year
now, so-
before. Yeah, the year before he got done, he was going to replace it, and he didn't. He decided not to. And then last year, I was going to replace it, but I decided not to because I was trying to get you guys in on a boom mower. So I didn't do it last year, and so that's why I presented the boom mower to you guys this year. And so now that we didn't do it, we need to do something. And I got prices from Champlain Valley, Pete's Equipment and Rental up in Morrisville, and then Mountain View Equipment in Middlebury.
What's the range?
They range anywhere, they're pretty close For the same style of mower that we have now, it's between 12 and 16,000 for a 5-foot deck. If you go to a 6-foot deck, for Champlain Valley, it's another 2,200 on top of that. And then with Champlain's, the woods ditch bank that we have now has gone to a new style power unit, I guess. They no longer have a hydraulic pump, or I shouldn't say that. The hydraulic pump is not on the PTO anymore. It's driven from an electric motor. So the tractor has to be equipped with a alternator that can produce at least or maintain 19 amps all the time in order to run the motor. And then of course it's got to be wired with a switch to turn it on and off and all that. So that mower there is 12.4 for the 5-foot deck, and then 14.6 for the 6-foot deck. But the wiring would have to be installed.
Yeah, what's the thought as far as I mean, how many passes do you make typically?
I was gonna ask this.
We try to do 2 passes.
2 passes, and you have 5-foot now, or you have 6-foot?
We have a 5-footer now.
So you're not gonna eliminate a pass by going to 6-foot?
No.
So I don't think we wanna carry the extra weight. I think that would be the way I would look at that. If it's not gonna save us a trip, we may as well cut the weight and go with 5-foot.
Yeah, the only thing I will pass along to you is Mike, I talked to Mike about him, and he says most of our ditches are set at 6-foot bottoms.
Yeah.
So when he goes through the 5-foot, he still leaves a little strip in the bottom. So if
Slows the water down.
no. Catches the debris.
Yeah.
So the 6-foot would take it right to the bottom of the deck, and then you make one more pass down through. So I technically, if you went with a 6, you would eliminate 1 pass, just because he goes back and he gets that extra foot before he does the back.
So he does 3 passes then?
He does 3 passes,
So is 6,
but one of the passes is only
It's just that strip?
Yeah.
right.
so if we're only cleared back 5 foot on the back side of that ditch, he's gonna end up not getting it somewhere. Either he's gonna be high he's gonna be high on the
One
back
way.
side of the ditch.
Right.
I mean, I just don't,
These mower decks are technically brush hogs, right?
yes.
They're not a mower.
Well,
Yeah.
They
So what-
are.
Eric, what's the weight difference? If people's concerned about the weight, what's the weight difference between the 6 and the 5?
I honestly, I don't know, Joel. To be honest with you, I
Well, it's
didn't get the
another
weight.
6 inches of blade
6
on each
inches.
side.
Right. Plus you got
Metal.
the metal. The deck is bigger. The 3-point hitch and the slide, all that's the same. The only difference would be you'd have the weight of each blade would be longer, and the deck would be bigger.
Have they, I haven't seen one, so I don't know the answer. Have they, like, the farms are all using the disc mowers now.
Mm-hmm.
Do they make a disc mower for a roadside mower?
They do.
Are they a lot more expensive? Or are you worried about debris?
Yeah. I talked
Like
to
throwing debris?
Damn.
who was it?
Oh.
Pete's. No. Champlain Valley. I talked to Champlain Valley on a rotary mower because I wanted them to price me out a flail, and this is a flail mower. And they're saying that because of the size of our tractor, we'd have to get at least a 7-foot deck.
That's not a disc
That's-
mower though, that's a flail mower.
That's a flail mower. A disc mower, he said, would be similar to that, but they're mainly made for lawns, fields, nothing, something like this. It probably wouldn't. It would work. You could get by with it,
But it's not ideal.
but it's not ideal. Is basically what he's
When you
saying.
run into that little saplings,
Yeah, well, the thing
That's-
is if we're mowed, if we're mowed, we shouldn't have saplings.
Right. If we got everything back, we want. All we'd have to do is maintain.
right, you're right.
How big, how big of a sapling will these brush hogs cut?
The flail one, this one, will take up to a 2-inch.
And how much, how big?
Whatever you can get.
Whatever you can get under the deck.
Well, I know, sometimes they pick them up and I see them cutting the
Yeah,
trees,
well,
and I get
that's-
5 feet high.
That's the boom mowers. You can open the doors up on the boom mowers, and depending on what head you got, you can take a tree down like that. And this is the one for Mountain View, which is basically the same style that we have now, except it's a little.
electric.
No, this one is actually PTO.
Hydraulic then.
Yep. This one, the one from Champlain, the ditch
Mountain
bank
View, I'm sorry.
woods, is electric over hydraulic, and that one's a PTO.
Eric, have you, I know you're probably in the same group, but Peter used to be in that road foreman's kind of coalition thing for Addison County. Have you talked with any of them and say, hey, you know, that someone would say, don't buy this or don't buy that? Have you given any
It
chat to
depends.
them and
Yeah,
say?
it depends. I've talked with a few people, and it depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Some of them love the flail mowers. They say they mow great. Everything that goes under them is all chopped up in nice itty bitty pieces. It lays down good. Other ones, most of the people or towns that I've talked to, they don't have a ditch bank mower anymore. They've gone to booms. A lot of them around here have gone to boom mowers. Darksboro, Moncton, Heinsberg.
Yeah, but the issue with the boom mower is we're still only gonna get 10 years out of it, and they're almost $50,000.
I think you could get more out of them. I think, because the one that Starksville has, I believe, is more than 10 years old. I could be wrong. I haven't checked with him. I didn't ask him how old it was, but I think it's more than 10. But anyways, you're right. It is a lot of money for a boom
Yeah,
mower.
and we've been, traditionally, the last number of years, you guys get it for 2 weeks. We rent
Usually we get it for 1
from
week.
from some dealership. They rent us the tractor and the boom mower, and we go
Yep.
around to behind the guardrails and that type of
Yep.
stuff.
Yep,
And we just pay that one flat fee to them.
right,
And we don't have any maintenance.
We don't have any maintenance, no hours on our tractor.
right.
And this, you told me, for the boards to know, you're gonna rent it for 2 weeks, so we won't be quite so rushed,
So rush, and we can hopefully get more, yep,
more done.
hopefully we can get more stuff done, trimmed back, and stuff that we didn't get to last year.
Okay. Have you had an equipment committee on this yet?
No,
No.
I did not.
What's the time frame? What's the low?
Could you have one if
emergency?
Equipment committee meeting?
No, what, could you have one, I'm
Oh.
sorry, Valerie.
Oh,
She asked what time frame. You probably need one by 1st of July, first part of June.
Hopefully before
Before
that.
Before that, yeah, we
June.
usually start mowing
By the end of
middle of
May.
May, end of May, we usually start mowing.
How often do you have to sharpen just the regular?
If you're doing your first pass around, which Mike usually does the intersections, and then does his first pass around all the pavement, and you can usually, the blades usually stay sharp. When you start making your second passes and you're taking down the little saplings, and sometimes you hit a
Yeah,
rock or
ditch.
whatever, and he usually sharpens them 3-4 times.
Well, like on the flail mower,
It's a lot of teeth.
Them,
lot
yeah,
of-
them there, I don't know
sharp.
if we could sharpen them. I think we'd have to replace
They're
them.
diamond.
Yeah.
Diamond
yeah.
blades.
Yeah, they still don't like rocks.
No,
No.
no.
Nothing like
Obviously.
trouble.
Well,
Nothing like rocks.
I'm just
None of
thinking
them will like
of the maintenance of them, because I've seen.
And the reason I
some
got
more.
that one, Peter, is because that's kind of like a mini boom. It'll do over the guardrails, and that's just a hair over 20. No,
Yeah, this is.
That's what we got down below, Ted. Up above is the price for that mower.
I saw that. Oh, I thought this was the reduced price down there.
This is the price for the one, it's not a full boom.
No, it's just like they
It'll
call it a
reach
mini
over-
boom.
It reach over the guardrails and, which,
That might help us out. And
yeah, which would,
can you get that in a 6 or no?
I
I
believe
don't
that's a
think you'd
5.
want it in a 6.
No,
No?
I don't believe you will either.
Okay.
The cutting width is 58 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's only 5. 6 foot, you'd have to have way bigger than what we need. Middlebury, you seen,
They have theirs on
Middlebury's
the
got a
loader.
Yeah, that's nice.
But I've talked to those guys, they're not crazy about it because it's on the loader.
Well, they have to have a separate loader maintained just for that mower because it's 4 hours on, 4 hours off to get it on and off. It takes them 4 hours to do it.
Yeah.
So they
This
have a
one?
loader just
No,
dedicated for
Middlebury's got one
that.
on their loader.
Oh.
I thought it was on there.
So you just buy another loader, that's easy.
That's what they did.
Stop it.
Or we can get one to go on the excavator boom.
No,
No? No?
you'll never get around the roads at 2 miles an hour.
Okay, what's
No,
your,
you
what's your
wouldn't.
pleasure, guys? Girls.
I don't know. Is this 20 grand, is that discounted to 35% that's up here?
I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. That 20 grand was in the email that he sent me.
Okay.
So I just wrote the price on that. I don't know if that includes the 35 or not.
And where did this,
That one's from Champlain Valley.
and the brand? Quick Hitch.
Yeah, I don't.
I guess, Eric, I'd like to see you run this by the equipment
Sure.
committee.
I can do that, yeah.
And,
Have they got these in stock down there?
No.
Does anybody have one that you could go look at?
Any town got one?
No, not that I'm aware
Because
of.
I mean, if it's a matter of getting behind the guardrails and that, you're talking another,
Another 4 grand,
yeah.
depending
Well,
on depending which one you go with.
Right.
And you might kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Might need only, instead of running the big boom tractor that we rent for a week.
Well, you
we're gonna
rent
go
the
to
big
2
one
weeks.
and you get rid of all the, you
Right, reach
you
out.
get rid of everything that's big, and then you use this one to do your cleanup.
Right.
Right.
But
But
we
we're
may
going
not
from-
need it, if we can do behind the guardrails where there's no brush, we wouldn't need that.
May not need to
much.
boom every year, maybe every other year or something.
Yeah,
And right now, he's going from 1 week to 2 weeks, so there's a cost already.
yeah, it's what, 4 grand a week?
3.
3 grand a week.
yeah, 4 grand more, just for.
Well, it's
So,
3 grand
so
last year,
there's
it's gonna be 3
there's a
grand this year.
week,
It's probably not.
Yeah.
He says they hold a price, but we'll see.
So you're not sure of the price on this one?
Well, it's 20,000.
Yeah, but
Wow.
they can say-
no, he's talking hold the price, oh, this year, I don't know what, he doesn't know what that is.
Okay.
No, that's
That was
the only
good.
thing he sent me in the email was that there.
So if you meet with the equipment committee and come back in 2 weeks, will that give you sufficient time?
Sure.
Yeah.
2 weeks, that's
See if there's one of these around that we can take a look at.
I can call him tomorrow and see if there's one around. See if he
Yeah,
knows of
there's one
somebody that has
somewhere-
one.
Somewhere in the state or eastern New York, we can run and take a look and
Okay.
see what.
Please call him and say, I wouldn't buy it, or yeah, it's a great machine. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think that would, just, I can't see 40, 50,000 on a full boom machine when we can do, you know, if you're looking to do behind the guardrails and we rent somebody's to do
To
that.
do the brush and stuff, yeah. No, that would be perfectly.
Yep.
Oh, did you see that one, Pete? Did you want to see that?
Wow, I'm just gonna go with what the equipment committee recommends. Because they're the experts.
Right.
Okay. Okay, Eric, you got your marching orders for that?
Yep.
Would you just stay for a second?
Sure.
The access, number 2 is regular business access curb cut application at 1062 Lower Notch Road. You have the,
Okay, so Eric, my only question for you is, it says, if possible, cut the brush. Can't we just say, cut the brush? Why do we
No,
give
no,
them,
no.
why do we give them an option?
He has to cut the brush, at least down part way anyways, as part of the permit.
Right.
The possible was to do all the way to the bottom of the hill. And that would get him sight distance. There's a big pine tree about 3/4 of the way down. And if you cut the brush behind the pine tree, you could see from there just about to Johnson Drive.
So if he only cuts the brush to wherever you think
He'll-
he's
he'll-
gonna cut, will he have sufficient sight distance?
He'll get his sight distance, but it would be better if he could do it all the way down to the bottom of the
There's
hill.
no way we can say, cut the brush all the way
None
to
of
the
it's
bottom?
known, his
No,
land.
yeah.
Then it's not. That's the possibility
In there
part.
right away?
Well, yeah, some of it is.
could we at least put that in it, that it's cut back to the right of way?
Yeah, whatever
Down to the
you
bottom
guys
of the
wanna
hill?
do. That would
'Cause
be
you'll have
better.
the sight distance
It'd be
if you
better
go-
for him if he could do it,
He'll
yeah.
have the sight distance if he goes to the bottom of the hill,
He'll have it, yeah.
but he won't if he doesn't.
No, he
No, no,
has.
no.
it.
He has, he'll have,
It'll be
it'll be better.
Okay.
Because the cars, well, you guys know, the cars up through there
So-
fly, so.
Yeah.
Can we tell him to cut more if he's got a legal sight distance? I mean, as long as he's got his legal sight distance, that's,
Good question.
It would be, I mean, you could approach him and say, for
for his own safety.
your own safety,
Yeah.
the way the cars drive here, it would be in your best interest too.
Yeah.
Try to get him to do it, but,
When you say when the bank gets taken back, you're talking about when he cuts the brush back, then
And-
he needs to ditch it?
and no, he needs to dig the bank back.
Oh, okay.
On the brow of the hill, from the brow of the hill down towards the cutout, there's a bank right there.
Okay.
That he needs to take that back, at least to our right of way. And he can go back more on his own property if he wants, but at least to our right of way, so he'll have a nice sight down through there. And then put a ditch in there to take it down to the cutout that we have.
Okay.
There's a real low area in here that he could make the ditch down 20, right?
There's a cutout right there, yep.
Yeah, right here.
Yep, we actually have two cutouts there.
Could, no, is it the lot that's circled or the one across the road? Because the
No.
picture says it's across the road.
Yeah, but it's not, it's the one that's,
It's squared out, I mean, with a dark pen.
On the same side as Fred Johnson's driveway.
Right,
Yes.
but you see the,
Right.
the aerial photo shows it on the other side of the road.
Turn it over.
The parcel map shows that they're connected. They're the same parcel.
Yeah, they're the same.
Yes, I know it's, but,
Yeah, this is the way Google Maps
yeah,
tagged
well,
it.
Yeah.
Is this for the place that's already there?
yep. Well, that's the place that John started
Yes.
and then never finished.
And we gave him an
He had an access already there. Me and Pete went up, or Pete and I, went up and measured it all out and everything. He didn't quite complete the cutting going down the hill. He took out them two big trees that we wanted him to, but there was still some more brush that he needed to take, and he didn't get to it before he sold the property.
Oh, so the property's been sold?
Yes.
And the driveway's not in?
It started in now,
I see it.
but it's like I told Chris was starting it in. I said, you can put it in if you want. I said, but if the board doesn't agree with it, putting it in for nothing.
So, okay, let's back the train up a little bit.
Sure.
So we've issued a permit 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
To the owner, John, yeah,
And he never built,
and he never built.
Shouldn't we abide by the same permit that we issued to that? It goes with the lot, not so much,
But the
You want-
driveway, I don't know, the driveway wasn't really completed up to what was in the permit. I don't know if that voids it, or, I'm not sure.
No, I mean, he's, the permit's still valid, he would still have to abide by that permit. I mean, the permits don't ever expire, right? And
Well,
there's
that's
no-
something we
Permit's for
should
the lot,
clarify.
isn't it? The permit for the lot?
Is there a specific ordinance for the curb cut?
I know they gotta be done within a year,
So that then they.
because when you apply for one, if you don't do it within that year, then you have to reapply.
so
So,
we're reapplying.
So he's
Reapplying.
reapplying basically, because the other permit wasn't completed.
so it was the permit was a year and a half ago, sorry, Ted.
No, go ahead.
It was issued a year and a half ago.
Yep.
Was that one make the site distance better than the one now? Or-
No, we were it's in the same place as the other one was.
Oh, so it's in the
The
same,
same exact
okay.
place.
Okay. Whereabouts is that? Where is the curb cut on this line?
Right here,
Oh,
right at the brow of the hill.
right at the brow of the hill.
Yep. If he goes this way anymore, you lose a sight distance coming down the hill.
Yeah.
You're fine up here. Anywhere you
Oh,
put
sure.
the driveway up here is fine. But in order to make it down this way, you have to put it just about right on the brow of the hill in
Yeah.
order for him to get the sight distance.
so it's in the same spot that was approved a year and a half ago, you and Pete went.
Yep.
And there's no house.
Well, if he doesn't own this property, then he's not going to be able to chop the brush, right?
Canada right away.
Can in the right away.
Yeah.
Because it's ours. Well, we have the right to maintain it, I should say.
And the right of way would measure 25 feet from the center line?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we already approved it once.
Yeah.
I move we approve the curb cut based on various conditions.
Second?
Okay. Any more questions? I just have one for, should we say if he doesn't cut the brush to the right of way, that we will cut it and bill him or no? Do we
I
want?
think that's in the ordinance, that if it does, if we have to do it, they get billed.
But
I think
that,
we changed it.
not beyond sight distance though.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
I mean, if we choose to do it beyond the sight distance as he's
Right.
required,
Right,
then
then that's
that's.
ours.
we
That's
just
on
do
us,
it.
right.
Correct, then it's ours, but if he
Yeah.
doesn't do it to get the site
If he doesn't
distance.
do it at all, and we have to do it,
Yeah,
then he's gonna get
Or he
charged.
doesn't do it.
What's the site distance? Some
At least to the site distance.
Up there is 380 feet.
So anything beyond 380 feet is on us.
Okay, alrighty. Any more questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Right.
Opposed? Okay. There you go, Eric. Thank you. Okay.
What we talked about today, do you wanna mention that, or you wanna just, you're not gonna have time?
Oh,
I'll bring it up, but if you're not gonna have time, I'm not gonna bring it up.
it'll be tight, let's just put it that way. Cause there's
Well-
other stuff that came up today that we gotta take care of tomorrow, so we probably won't even be up here digging tomorrow.
So what we talked about was the stretch from Pine Street where he's come up through North Street, cleaning the shoulder off. Just taking, because we have to reseed that area, taking the back side of the sidewalk where the sod is above the sidewalk and shaving it level with the sidewalk. We should be, depending on which way the sidewalk leans, we should be, if it leans towards the road, we'll be all right now because it'll drain.
Right.
But if it doesn't, while we're there reseeding, it would make sense to take that, it's about that wide off the side of the sidewalk that the grass sticks above the sidewalk.
On the homeowner's side, of
Yeah.
the sidewalk?
I don't recall any water building up there, peak or ice
Okay.
from Plank Road.
And I would like to
Pine
at least ask the owner,
Well,
homeowner.
no, it's in
It's
Pine,
Pine Street.
it's from Pine to the,
Oh,
to Jim
Pine
Peabody's
to
house.
Spring.
okay.
Yeah.
Or Pleasant.
Just take a look at it. If he doesn't have time, it's not gonna hurt anything if it stays there. I just was thinking with the, with the sidewalk plowing that, if it was
Where
there
where it
flush.
gets really bad there is right by the Lebanus Lodge and then in front of, what Franklin Smith House, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's really bad there.
Corey
There's a lot of
place,
the water builds up big time.
But that's because it's lower than the road.
Right,
Right.
right.
So that's not really gonna change much
No.
even if we take it back.
There and then in front of the church, right, in between the
Yeah.
rectory and the
Yeah.
corner.
I hear what you're saying, but I just think we get
Oh,
on
if
the
he
inside of the
doesn't-
sidewalk,
yeah.
somebody's lawn there, we at least ought to ask them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it without asking.
But if he doesn't have time, and
Yeah.
I just wanted you
Yeah,
to know what we
well,
were talking about, that's all.
Sidewalk plow,
And we could,
get off the edge first, still start.
Yeah, if you just set over with the sidewalk plow, we can carve it all off the first storm anyway.
or if we had somebody that had a narrow skid steer bucket too, 5 foot, 6 foot wide. We could stay right on, even after it's done paving, we could go down through there and peel it off that way too. So, I mean, it's not an out of the round thing, we could do it at a later time. We would just have to find somebody with a,
Well, the only reason I said is because you're gonna be seating between the road and the sidewalk as it is, and
Yep.
and another couple of feet on the back side,
right,
and it would all be done.
right.
If he doesn't have time,
Okay,
Yeah, your plate's pretty full right
good
now.
points, yeah.
Just getting there.
Yeah, well, just getting ready for this paving is a
Yeah,
big problem.
we're probably almost half done,
Yeah.
so.
And the grinding is gonna be all of it or just spots?
Grinding is only gonna be where the curbing is.
Oh, okay.
And they're doing one pass on each side, so it'd be 8 foot from the curbing, 8 foot in on each side.
it should help us with that outside hog draw.
It should. Yep, and most of the scabs, I guess you'd say, is in the hog troughs.
Yeah.
So it should grind them right out, and we'd be right back down to pavement. Good pavement, so to speak. So when they pave through there.
Okay. Okay, before Eric gets away, better get away.
Anything else for us?
Right, Eric.
We're New Haven's crushing, so we're down helping New Haven, and they should be. I think Kale said they were almost half done today. So figure what's today, Monday. By the end of the week, if everything goes right, they might be done for New Haven, and if not, early next week, and then they'll be moving into our pit, which usually takes them a couple days, whatever, to tear down, set back up, and all that, and then we'll be crushing for us.
When are they sweeping the roads?
He's actually, I just talked to Jill, he's actually starting tomorrow. So he got his truck all going and stuff, so he'll be starting tomorrow.
Okay.
While Eric is here, I was gonna mention this under town admin report. We learned today that we did not get the V-Trans.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
That's good.
for the installation of the dry wells
For
on
park.
West Street
Ah,
and
the
East
park and all
Street.
that. That way.
Right, combined, both of those projects would have been $118,000 that we were applying for funding for,
So do
with a
we
20% match.
So do we go with just regular catch basins, or do we do the right thing and put in the dry wells?
For the West Street section, it was about $84,000.
We gotta at least do the culverts before they pave. The catch basins, they're off in the travel part. You could do them later, but
Well, they're gonna pave way
they're
out.
gonna pave.
I mean,
I
if
talked
we're
to
gonna
Dan,
do-
curb to
what's-
curb, from what I saw.
But what I'm saying is if the catch basins need to be changed, we're gonna change the catch basins, put new catch basins in. Do we go with the dry hydrant so we get credit for that might be a question for Green Mountain. Would we be better off to spend a little bit extra and put the
Right thing in now.
Yeah.
They probably say yes.
We need to do it right.
Well,
Yeah,
they'll
that's
give us,
my
what it's
thing.
gonna do is it's gonna give us credit for taking care of our
The
stormwater.
stormwater.
Right, yeah.
And I think, you know, if we take a little initiative on our own, we can, when they want us to do more, we can say, you know, we've already started,
Right,
Yeah.
give us some money.
right. And did you?
Not that that'll get us anywhere.
We definitely gotta get that cut across and get that one out in front of the community bank, the old Merchants Drive. Move that. You've been wanting to move that to the west a little bit.
So the question is, do we spend the 84,000 or do we?
Oh, we don't know yet. That was the estimate, right, from the engineering firm? We haven't put it up to
No,
bid.
that's for me.
Okay, so the engineering firm of Coda and Coda and Coda.
I got prices from materials and
Right.
estimated the labor and things like that. I mean, I could be way off. I don't know. I mean, we could make a scope thing and put it out to bid, see what we get back.
But we're gonna need some elevations, we're gonna need some inverts, or we're not gonna be able to, when was we still have the engineering study, correct?
Right, so I'll
When
check
was-
in with Dana, where he's at with his 30% design development, because that's where he left off.
Okay.
Because if we don't have,
We don't
it's
have the
kinda hard to
inverts.
get numbers if you don't know what you have to dig.
Right.
Yeah, and he had his
Exactly.
survey crew out there earlier this month, I believe.
Well, they were out there last week
Oh, okay.
on the park. They were doing their test
Okay.
bores for that leach field or whatever they want to call it there.
Mm-hmm.
They were. I talked to
That's
them last
not-
week. That's not.
That's
to
not
do
a
with us.
priority for us though, right now.
No.
I mean, the priority for us is to
To
get
get
that road
that
fixed.
Right.
road done
I'm
first.
sure that they would have been surveying the whole area then.
But yeah, we need. I don't know if.
We need to get real numbers in order for us to make a
Yeah,
decision.
get some real
So how do
numbers.
you go?
do
You
we
have
got
to get
to
an
do?
engineer firm to do the inverts and all that.
Well, I
or-
would think, I think that's what this stormwater study was gonna give us, that was.
That was part of it.
That was my thought, but
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, I think we need to figure that out, and if they're not gonna give us that, we need to get somebody who can,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in short order.
Yeah.
Because you're running out of,
Tom.
Window, absolutely. So Joel asked what we have in capital roads, and I'm looking back at what we had at the end of December. Capital
We voted some in at town meeting, the
Construction.
minutes of July 1.
In December, it was 151,000, and we added 40,000 this fiscal year, another 40,000 after July.
So you could do
So we'll have over $200,000.
you could do
after
both
July.
projects
but
if you wanted
we
to.
still, we have,
Other
But then we have a
projects.
secret.
Well, we have other projects for that money, yeah.
we
Oh,
have,
okay.
some of that money's committed to Firehouse
Building a-
Drive.
Building the road to,
Although Firehouse Drive is a different source of funding, it's the Stony Hill purchase money we have for that. That's dedicated.
is this something we want, obviously, the board's talked about this, and we've been wanting to do this project because we know they're gonna pave here next year, and we don't wanna dig it up after they leave.
So I think what we need to do is find out if,
Green Mountain to get a scope ready?
No, if the outfit that we've already got working is gonna give us
what we need.
Right.
what we need, or if we're gonna have to hire
To put it out
somebody
to
else. Yes, or
Okay.
if we're gonna have to hire somebody
Right.
to give us what we need to put it out to bid.
So something that we could do probably sometime after the 4th of July and get it done before.
Yeah, well, if we're gonna go out to bid, you've gotta give them time to bid, and you've
Yeah,
gotta,
yeah.
you've gotta.
That's
give
why I
them time
said, that's about 2 months, or
Yeah.
2 months away.
Not that's doing the,
Not this one?
no,
Okay.
no, it's not Du Bois and King that's doing the
No, this is,
stormwater survey. is it?
Watershed Consulting.
Okay.
Dubois, they're the ones doing the
Doing
paving
the other
for
side.
next year.
Yeah.
And our lighting project.
Right.
Yeah, no lighting project.
Okay. Alrighty, is that, we wanna,
Yeah, well, I
On the
mean, we've
agenda,
got some legwork before we
Yeah.
harass him too much.
right,
Get.
go, go. Thanks, Eric.
Alrighty, have a good night.
Okay, consider Waitsfield, telephone proposal for alternative installation system for the West Street banners. You read that in your packet?
My concern is another
Pole.
on the
Me too.
I think we all had that
Me
same
too.
thought. Well,
Is
they're
there
never-
any
and they're
reason
never gonna
why-
see it. And
is there-
here's,
Any reason why
take one,
this won't work
that's
across the road? I mean, couldn't they put the same system?
Exactly, yeah.
Well,
You guys voted on the curb cut, correct?
Yes.
yeah, yes.
Yes.
The
Sleeping, are
problem,
you?
I
the
thought it was
problem with
raining, I was
across the
like,
road is they
yeah,
have to
like-
make sure it was high enough so trucks coming through won't hit it.
No
Right.
one has ever
So-
hit it.
Well, that's because it's up as high as the
Yeah,
telephone
right.
poles.
Oh,
But-
so they're thinking this one would be lower?
Well,
This one would just be on the
across
park.
the road.
I understand that.
Wouldn't
but If they can do it there, why can't they do it
Yeah.
across the road?
Exactly.
Side, put a pulley system.
I
I
really
don't-
do understand their concern with traffic and that, I get
And the
that.
cost, yeah.
And the cost of having traffic control, because they can't legally be out there without the,
So is there another pole across the street that looks like this one in the picture?
One by the post office.
One,
there.
The one that
there's
they currently use?
a cable across there
There
already.
already is.
There's one right there, see it?
Isn't there some way that it can
That
pole
be
there.
arranged from the side of the road?
Well, that's what
Yeah.
Peeker and I are saying. Can't they set up that pulley system on what's
Exactly.
already there?
Yeah.
You're still blocking the road before you get it up in the air, but do it in the middle of the night.
I just don't want another-
always done it.
I just don't want
blocking the road before
another
you get
pole
on
on
there.
there.
I don't
And
even-
ringed up.
Oh, if you ring it up over, okay. I was thinking they'd be pulling it up from each side.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
I was thinking one side, couldn't they do it from one side?
Yeah,
That's
You
what
ring it
I-
up and then you pull
Like a
pull it-
clothesline, yeah.
and pull it over.
Pull it over and
Yeah.
then pull it over.
Mm.
Like you would a flag, you know, you pull it all the way up and then
Yep.
then hopefully
Well, just
somehow.
like a clothesline, you sit on one end of a clothesline and you bring it to you.
Well, not mine, I don't,
Yeah.
but I know what you're saying.
You're only on one plane, you're not
Right.
going up, and you're not going vertical and then horizontal.
Right.
Somebody figure that out.
Yeah, probably. But,
There's gotta be a way.
It's doable.
so-
Joe,
Yeah.
I think we need more information about this. So Meredith talked to me about this, and then I talked to Chris, and then Chris sent this. But it doesn't have any detail about what the mechanism is to actually put it up. And I don't, like you said, I don't like the idea of putting another pole up. I'd like to get the old pole off the park, and just put a new one in. And there's also that right there is where we might have the charging station. So you'd have a banner across that. It's like putting a banner in front of the bandstand too. I do think across the road is better, and we used to have the two guy lines there. They've only put one up when they put the new pole in. So I don't know if that changes it. Because oftentimes if you have one and not hooking at the bottom, if any wind blows through, it just wraps it up, and that's
Right.
happened in the past. And so there's no point putting the banner up because you can't read it anymore.
I don't see any reason why they can't put a lift here in the parking spaces long enough to get the thing up and over. And stay out of the road. And the second thing, I don't think that a banner going this
Yeah,
way
no, I
is
don't.
gonna be as effective as the one that's.
Rather not put it
it's
up.
not.
Yeah, and
Rather
it's-
not put it up if you're gonna
Yeah.
go.
yeah. Well, I agree with Ian, I think we need more information.
Yeah.
On how this whole.
I mean, I You know, maybe what you're saying, Pete, turning the corner, if it was hitched on this side and pulled across with a pulley system. You know, like Ted's saying, you'd still have to get up, but you'd be out of the travel portion of the road, you'd be doing everything on the shoulder.
We've always done it that way.
Well,
Brown provided us with a lift, or Randy provided us with a lift, you know, and
So
that was it.
Something you put up like for 4th of July, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
4th of July or any other reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Any
Cable
other
company
time.
used to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, the cable company did it for a while too.
but the reason they don't wanna do it now is because they can't do it without traffic control.
Yeah.
Because they're on the
It's a
state
state
highway.
road.
But
Yeah.
we did,
But if they did it all from this area over here and they weren't in the travel portion, that wouldn't be a problem then.
keep in mind,
Whatever the rules are.
Right.
keep in mind that we have talked about putting a green space in front of that post office and eliminating that pole, because that pole doesn't have any power or anything to it,
Which one, the one on the,
by the
For
post
the
office side. We talked about,
We did talk about getting rid of that pole?
no, talked about putting a green space.
Well, I know we talked about the green space, but I didn't know we talked about getting rid
Yeah,
of the pole.
why remove the pole? Why couldn't we put a green space in?
I guess we could.
Yeah, with a pole there.
Yeah,
The pole's only there to hold up the banner, correct?
fine.
Well,
You know,
that works.
At least something
As
does.
long as it still works.
Unless it's a guide pole, anchor pole for the pole across the road. I don't know. Think
No,
we
I
need
don't.
more information?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Valerie, I guess you, Meredith, get us any more information? Okay, anybody heard of this next one, Bristol Core?
I don't think
Block
it's a
up
good idea.
Main Street, I'd like to do it on Sunday the 16th.
Now that we've got all the requests for outside.
Ian, did you have a chance to look at the conditions that V-Trans added
I
to
did.
the permit?
They always have that. So the
Right.
first one, the signage, I've had that made. So we have our own signs that we put out a week before. And then the lit signage after the evening, we've never done that because we've usually worked with the Bristol Police Department and they have cruisers out there at the signs and at the two main areas where it's blocked. I don't know if they mean lit signage throughout the entire.
I thought it said a lit
Lighted flagger station.
flagger station.
Are
Flagger's
required
out
at
there, he has that.
sunset.
Okay. Yeah, we've never done that before. We've
No, that-
always worked with.
That hasn't been in the prior permits.
Yeah.
And then they strongly recommend a week ahead of time, those message boards, electric message boards.
Right, so getting the electric message boards is very difficult because there are very few people that have them and they're very expensive. In the past, I've talked to them and they've said that we could have our own signs. We used to have handwritten ones that weren't in compliance. Last year, I actually had made 2 new ones that are in compliance with all the right stuff, and I think those will be okay in place of electronic message boards. But they do exactly the same thing. We put them out a week before in 2 locations coming in and out of town, and so that gives us our week
Yeah.
advance.
And their language says recommend, so it's not
Right,
required, but.
yeah.
But the lighted flagger stations are required.
Do you know what that, Chris? Do you know what that? A light-
What it is a portable light tower.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That just shines on the
Shines
flag.
on the person doing the flagging.
Okay.
But you don't have anybody at the corner of,
I was gonna say, you don't
You don't
have
have anybody
a
at the corner.
flagger, you just have detour
No.
signs, don't you?
Well,
right.
We have we have a cruiser that's actually at the end of the street.
Yeah.
No, but you don't have anybody
Actually,
like at the corner of North and Garfield where they go up.
No.
Or Garfield and Mountain.
No.
I think
So
that's
I would
what,
just tell them we don't have any flaggers.
Okay.
well, it's not going to be dark by the time you're done anyway.
Right. It's still pretty light.
I mean,
so,
it's
yeah.
going to be light until at least 8:30. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we're out of the road.
Done by
No,
8,
but
yeah, out by 9.
Yeah.
Traffic is detoured until 9.
Yeah.
okay,
I move we approve it.
Second?
all right. Just a question, is the letter here also part of, because that says request from Bristol Core, block off Main Street. And then you have a letter here to the board?
Well, it's very specific in the letter.
Okay.
Same as it always is.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, same, no, never mind, I was reading more into it. Okay, any more questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Hi.
Opposed?
You getting where you read like me, put your own words in there?
Well, I thought you wanted to close off the entrance to go into Shaw's.
Oh,
That's what I was reading, like I said, I read more into it.
At the entrance.
Yeah, at the entrance. Okay, local emergency management plan, review and adopt.
Well, I wonder if with Jill here, if we want to hop over
Sure.
to
Well, I already
number
checked
6.
it off.
Number 6, very quickly.
Fine by me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, step right up, Joe.
No sense making her sit through that.
It's just riveting.
Enjoying this.
It's just riveting, you know?
She's taking all sorts of notes.
So many years as a C-level executive at so many meetings, it's like, oh, I kind of miss this.
Really? You kind of.
I know.
There's probably openings on boards in Moncton.
There were some new openings. I'm not that much of a glutton for punishment.
So we've come to the time of year where the VTUM's 3-year contract is up for renewal, and we've also received a proposal from Simon Operations Services. It turns out they're both 3-year contracts that are proposed. I was mistaken. That's SOS was a 1-year, that was my mistake. It's actually, they're both 3-year proposed contracts. And in the TA report, there's a brief summary of the numbers.
We saw that.
So Jill can answer any questions you might have, and the select board may or may not choose to deliberate in executive session.
I am very happy with the service we've had in the last 3 years. And-
As am I.
And I was not ecstatic about the service we had prior to that. And the numbers are good,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
if everybody is in agreement, I'll make a motion that we go with VTOMs for 3
Second.
years.
Okay.
Motion and a second to go with VTOM's
You weren't fast
for a
enough.
3-year.
Do you wanna?
No, I was going to second. Ted,
No.
Ted just
Ted
drew
jumped
question.
in there.
Quick second.
Okay.
If he waits a second, he loses it.
You got that,
Just a
Tasha?
second.
Okay, any questions for Jill?
Good job.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Really nice job.
Yep. Been very happy.
And it's tuberculation, not tuberculosis. I've been studying for my advanced water exam that's this Friday, and I'm listening to Water Seafood when I drive and reading 4 very heavy books, and I was like, called it tuberculosis, it's tuberculation. It's that disgusting growth
Oh,
of
yes.
metallic buildup inside the pipe that takes that 4-inch inside diameter and shrinks it down to a 2-inch
Oh,
that we
yes.
have on Elm Street. So
Uh-huh.
he goes, I've never heard it called that. I'm like, that's because I got the word wrong. So yeah, I just have to say we really enjoy working here, so I'm very pleased.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful, beautiful town with awesome water after seeing water at many other systems over the last couple of years.
Well, then
since
it
we
should be
built the
cheaper.
company.
You should have told us that ahead of time.
Well, you're
Doesn't mean the maintenance is any
it's a lot of
easier.
work. There's times
It
when
is a lot of
it's
work,
50, 60 hours a week, and there's
Yeah.
times when it's actually 25, but
Oh, well, while you're here, folks might not be fully aware of some of the changes that have happened in your shop.
oh, such as I left my job as a marketing director for Engineering Ventures for a year, and previously as the CFO for Mount Family Group as 3 years. So I'm full-time VTEMS.
No.
I did that on Valentine's Day as a gift to myself.
I know, it's
And you
sure
brought
that's a
us one.
gift.
Yes, yes, and so we now have Karina Parnaby. She left the state of Vermont running their fish and wildlife program, so she is a wildlife biologist who's studying currently for her wastewater license, going through the Green Mountain Water Environment Program for certification, and she's working on at Bolton Valley as her primary assignment as a secondary/tertiary option for us here in Bristol. And then she'll start working towards her Class 3 and her Class 4 water operator's license as we're starting to go through the pilot and installation of a surface water system at Bolton, which is about as high licensure as one could possibly get, being that there's such high risk, where Bristol has this beautiful, wonderfully filtered, protected groundwater spring with much less risk and a lower level class licensure required. So we have her, and then we also hired Ed Savage, who is a 35-year veteran of the wastewater and water industry out of West Rutland / Pulteney, Vermont. He comes on as a very experienced senior operator, so that when things get really complicated beyond what myself, Cyrus, or my father, who's a 68-year-old engineer of water and wastewater, we've got someone else to turn to at that level. And then we also hired Ed Deveneaux, who was the chief water operator for Tri-Town Water for 35 years. So he comes in at that senior position for water operations and just has a depth and breadth of knowledge that he brings to the company. So yes, we have hired some amazing people and have every intention of doing all that we can to continue to serve you guys as if you're our only client, but are working to grow a little bit here and there.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Anytime you have questions, call, email, text, tap us on the side of the road when we're working. We love visitors. Thank you.
Joe, can you tell Si that if he has a moment to turn the water on at the rec field tomorrow?
Is it the faucet?
It's the one right behind the little green shed that turns all the electricals in that little green shed behind the backstop of the major softball field.
That's what you're talking about. So the one by the horse paddock. I went to turn that on just
That's
after
that
I
outdoor
finished.
faucet that they use for the garden.
Right, no, I don't know anything about that.
It's leaking again. So I have to replace that faucet again. It seems that no matter how many times we replace it, every
Have him
spring
just
it
give me a
gets
call
new.
tomorrow.
I know what you're talking about now.
It's just the one as you drive into the main rec field
Yes.
behind the backstop.
Okay.
Look over your
By the
shoulder.
skating rink.
You're right.
No, it's behind the backstop. of
Behind the
major-
backstop.
You know, big red, the grandstand is there, and the
Oh, yeah.
backstop is right behind there.
Okay, yeah. You're ready
Have
for.
them give me a wiggle. They
Okay.
are.
Yeah, he'll be here. He'll be here
I
tomorrow.
won't wire tomorrow when I went over.
We could go turn it on tonight.
No,
if
no,
you
no,
wanted.
no,
He's-
no, they don't need water till noon. They're pressure washing the tennis courts and
Yeah.
the skating rink.
I went to Mountain Air this morning and picked up the stainless steel
That's gonna ask
trays,
about that.
and they're installing them right now.
Oh,
Cyrus
alright.
and Logan are at them. Wow, I've been waiting forever, and I finally got impatient, so I went and picked them up.
Okay,
Alright, thanks, guys.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll jump back to the local emergency management plan. I just saw a couple of little minor.
My name got put in there.
So hopefully I captured the essence of the adjustments that we reviewed at the last meeting.
Yes, I think so. Good.
Seems so.
Can always be a work in progress. If other things show up that we want to change, we can always do that. Now, the adoption certificate needs to be signed by the chair of the select board and, let's see, a certifying individual that has taken at a minimum ICS 402 or ICS 100 eyes. So, Peter, you've probably taken those and then some, right?
Yeah.
So I put your name there.
I don't think you've taken the 402. I haven't taken it, but I've taught it several times.
I think that counts.
I know I have it. We've taken the minimum I can be on
200.
the 200.
Okay.
You didn't do the 300 when we all did it there?
Maybe you did.
The Legion?
No, at the station. We had Virgins and everybody was there. We had 2 car accidents during it.
Oh, yes. Did that.
2 actual car accidents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I didn't go to the second one because I knew if I left, there was no way I was going to pass because I just wasn't getting it.
Oh my goodness. Huh.
Okay, so. Any other things for Valerie on that?
So I move that we adopt the local emergency management plan.
Second.
A motion and a second to adopt the plan. Any questions or comments about it?
This was a topic of conversation at training yesterday. As far as getting the whole county on board and going through the county so that if there's something big, like a hurricane or a major flood that gets more than one town, that everybody's working together for the resources instead of Bristol going to get their resources, New Haven going and. And the guy, the new guy for the LAPC was actually in the class, so.
Oh, Andrew?
Yeah.
And I think Bruce has attended some of those LACP meetings.
Been a while, yes.
Because I'm on their email list and I get it and they get their minutes and stuff, so I've seen your.
Well, there's a couple of trainings coming, aren't there?
Well, we're working here, we're going to do a tabletop exercise this fall.
Actually, in June.
Yeah, and then participate in the statewide catastrophic exercise in October. So that'll help us a great deal.
So on this plan, let's see, under the other resources, where was it? On page 2, at some point over time, it would be good to flesh out this list and add more stuff, add more resources that we can look to right at a glance.
You're looking at this second
Yeah,
page here,
yeah.
backside
So
of it.
section 3.
Yep.
So if we can think about that a little bit over time and grow this list so that we have one place to go to if we're in a pinch and in a crunch.
Just, I see the word generator down here. It's not, is ours up and running here now?
Yes,
Okay, so if we had something, it would be up.
like on Friday. Yeah.
Well, I mentioned you said you lost power,
Yeah,
but it didn't kick on.
Well, there's
you
a delay.
It's a delay.
and so everything shuts down.
So your battery backup,
There is none.
no, on your computer,
Apparently there isn't one.
you don't have,
So everything
doesn't
went,
have a UPS connected.
they don't have an UPS connected.
No.
no, so.
Or not that much.
Kaput.
But,
Yeah, well, would have been handy.
yeah, lost all that stuff you've been typing. Okay.
Automatic backup, so if you do that, when you're typing, there should be an automatic save every minute.
Oh, I do, yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't lose as
No,
much
no,
as
no,
you.
no, yeah. It's just
I lose
inconvenient.
everything
Just
just
stop.
because I push the wrong
Just
key.
flash.
I don't go back anything up.
Do you want to save this? No. Whoops.
Joel?
Joel.
Yep, that's what I figured.
One thing going forward that the Energy Committee could look at would be the Tesla power walls for battery backup. So the generator out here isn't an instant on.
There's a delay of about 10 seconds.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
No.
But that's
Many-
enough to shut everything down
Many of them are
instantly.
10 seconds, just for it to realize, oh, the power went out, I have to keep
Right.
on.
So I did the Green Mountain Powerwall system, which is a very large battery bank. They offered a program, so I have 2 in my house. And so when we lost power, it's instantaneous. So it'll just, if you lose power, there's a light flicker, and you wouldn't even know that you had power. And obviously, this is probably different power needs, but it might be something that the Energy Committee could look at if they can offer the power walls at a larger scale. So you could have, I have 2 in my house, that was the max that the program would do, but maybe commercially or for the town, maybe Green Mountain Power could start to use, allow larger amounts to go in to certain places. So as part of the program, when there are high uses, they use the power that's stored in the batteries to balance the grid. So when everyone turns on their AC in the summertime, they'll pull from my battery to sort of balance that out. And I think they did 1,000 as a pilot program from Tesla, and I think they're going to do more. So the idea is to get these little micro sort of centers of battery power that they can pull from. So it might be something the town
Yeah, that'd be
could
fantastic.
take part in.
What are I know like the deep cell batteries that you put with your solar system to hold your power, there's ventilation is critical with those. I mean, people aren't supposed to have them in their cellar and they do. What are these batteries like?
I don't know if they're the same type. You can put them outside or you can put them inside. I have them down in just our mechanical room, and they have their own sort of computers inside them, and they have a whole ventilation system. So they developed, Tesla did the cars, but obviously the big thing is batteries. That's what they're developing. So they might be different technology. than what other solar systems have used. But it worked flawlessly. We lost power. The only way I could tell is because the battery backup for my computer starts beeping, and then we knew we actually lost power. So off for an hour. We were able to shut everything down to lessen the load, and it was seamless. It was amazing. But I would like to sort of see if Green Mountain Power is going to do the program again. Can we do it at a larger scale? Because I'm sure it's going to help them. That's why they're doing that. So it might be something worth looking at.
Helps make the grid more reliable.
Right.
And because this is the Emergency Operations Center, perhaps we can get a 50% grant through the Vermont Emergency
50.
Management.
So does the pilot
Get a
program
little more.
that you're on, are you paying for a certain part of that? Or that's part of the pilot program, that's all on them?
So I pay $15 per battery. And it's
Per month?
Per month, yeah. So $30 per month, that was extra on my electricity bill, and that's for 10 years. So that's about $4,500 or $3,500. And then, but for each battery to be installed by Tesla, it's about $8,000. So it's
They covered that.
yeah, the install is completely free, and all I'm paying is the $30. So.
And then what happens after 10 years?
I can request to have them removed, or if they still have a pretty healthy lifestyle or longevity, then I can just leave them in and they can still be used.
So at this point, are you using them, or do you only use them in the emergency situation when you lose power?
Because of it, so you can, if you're not part of a program with Green Mountain Power or another utility, you can balance that and actually say if at high energy uses, you could switch over to battery. Because I'm part of the program, you can only use it as part of a backup, which is fine for us.
Right.
Since our house is all electric and we don't have any other source of heat, we can plug in a little electric heater that uses 500 watts, and we can survive now for a couple days.
So it's like having a generator without.
Exactly. Right, because the generator is $6,000. It sits outside and it doesn't do anything, whereas the batteries are actually a useful kind of thing and do the same service. And I'm not paying $6,000 up front, which is nice.
Do they have an estimated life expectancy?
I think it's, according to Tesla, it's well over the 10 years. It's a 10-year program. I think that's what's on the batteries, but I think they should last much longer. But again, because it's new, it's hard to sort of do that testing.
No, I think you're right.
Come back to me in 10 years.
They give it a 10-year lifespan, but they do technically last longer.
Similar with
But they just
solar
won't
panels.
tell you that.
Good.
Yeah.
They're quiet, too.
Very
They're quiet.
Yeah, they're totally silent.
And they don't give off carbon monoxide.
No.
Yeah, it'd be
Alrighty.
interesting to
Okay.
hear whether if they do off gas up to the other batteries.
Yeah.
So we did vote for that? That's long.
I didn't hear about.
No, I
We
don't
did-
think we have.
Okay,
Yeah,
Tosh, you want to read that motion over? Adopt it by who? Ted and Peter?
Peter Coffey moved to adopt the local emergency management plan. Michelle seconded.
Okay. Hearing no more questions, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Alrighty.
Thank you.
Continue appointment or reappointments of town officials, possibly in deliberation in executive session. We gotta go in executive session anyway, right?
Well, yes.
Tonight, so
Yeah.
discuss those tonight.
Right, and the Addison County Regional Planning Commission wants affirmation about, or an appointment of somebody to the Transportation Advisory Committee. It has been Peter Grant.
He still wants to be on it, I assume?
I believe so.
Have at it.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to reappoint Peter Grant to the Addison County Regional Planning Transportation Committee. Hearing any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And we'll do the rest of those later.
Right.
Consider a proclamation for the town of Bristol recognizing the 100-year anniversary of the establishment of the American Legion.
So that's on your tabletop. It's this tall thing.
It's that tall thing.
Ron LaRoche did have a chance to look it over and give it a thumbs up.
Okay.
He was pleased with it?
Yes.
Good enough for me.
But,
No, I think he did a very nice job on it.
In 1919, is that why it ended up being post-19? No.
No. This one didn't actually start until 1920.
So why is
Fourth
it
line.
post 19? How do they determine what number it is?
I think it's
It's
the way.
the order in which they come in.
Come in.
Yeah.
Virgin's is 14, right, Tom?
Okay.
Okay. Pleasure. Somebody want to make a motion to accept the proclamation?
I make a
So
motion.
moved.
Motion and a second, pick one, Natasha.
Okay.
Hearing none, questions from the board?
I just want to say this Legion does amazing things for this area.
Yes.
It does.
They really do. And
They really support
They
the town.
give out scholarships every year to the school, and they,
Their open
Yeah.
houses, their July 4th picnics, I mean, gosh.
their community service is amazing.
And they host the Boy Scouts weekly or bi-weekly meetings.
well, they sponsor the boys.
They sponsor the Boy Scouts, yeah, so. Okay, thank you, board. All those in favor? Huh?
I know he is. Are you guys members?
Yes.
Yes. Michelle, you auxiliary?
He
Yeah.
was.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ready.
Great,
Want me to
thank you.
sign this one?
No, I have.
You
I
can't
have
sign one that says draft, Joel.
I'm sorry.
No, I've got
She'll
it.
get it and find it.
In the green folder.
You
is all
just
this
shut
stuff.
up, okay? I don't need any more lip at you. All right. Approval of minutes of April 15th and April 19th.
Actually, I got two on the April 15th. There's my two on April 15th. And then I didn't have any on the 19th.
Great.
I move that we accept them with Michelle's corrections.
Okay.
I'll second.
There's the motion to second approve the minutes April 15th and 19th. Any more corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Authorize accounts payable warrant and any liquor licenses. I haven't seen that.
We had,
Here's the.
Got some liquor, a couple liquor
You want, here, I'll
licenses.
tell you the warrant. Tasha. It is $80,204.07.
And what?
Val, I just wanna make sure that the school is gonna get submitted that bill for the work that Heatums did, right?
Yes. Well, the town pays it.
We're gonna
but-
pay for it and then
Right,
they're
then
gonna
get
reimburse us.
we will send them a bill. Right.
We don't need to give the,
There's a bunch of special event permits.
yeah.
yeah. We-
Oh, we got your credit card here. I'll have to slip that in my pocket.
And, yeah, the times and dates all look good on them.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're all consistent.
Oh, no, yeah. You going
Ian must be doing a good job. 3 to 8.
You'll need
I
that.
filled in the forms for them. Okay.
I'm tired of you doing it wrong.
Possibly screw this
We don't
up.
need to know the liquor licenses. We don't put those in there.
Just special events.
Just special events. Oh,
I think you skipped a few.
Grand
I think it was-
Fondo event at the rec field, please. Doesn't say. Oh, for June 27th, the Grand Fondo reception at Bristol rec field. For date of June 27th, doesn't have a time.
That's an annual event, isn't it?
I believe it is. It's where they ride in, ride out. They'll start there and then leave. And then,
So you
Polka.
already approved that.
No, that was,
then there's
of
course, the Polka Rocks 3 to 8 for Shacksbury Limited Cider LLC.
Do you want to go through just all the ones that are for Pocock? And can we
Sure.
authorize them all at once?
Yeah,
And
the-
Zero Gravity Brewery. And let me see this one. What's this, Pocock Rock? Yep, Bristol Pocock Rock Borders Hard Cider and Wine LLC.
And they're all 3 to 8.
Yeah,
Checking them out, they're all 3 to 8.
Well, Ian filled them all out.
Ian filled them all out. Apcat Distillery.
And Ian, they're all gonna be blocked off, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're, like they have in
I'll
the
let you
past.
read that.
Gronenfell.
Gronenfell Meadery
Meadery.
LLC
Oh,
out of Colchester. Jeez, they're coming a long ways. And I believe,
That's it. You're in the.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
There'll be 2 more after this and then we're done.
Okay. So, what's your pleasure?
So moved.
second.
I was gonna say either one of us.
Same
Yeah.
number of vendors as last year.
Okay. And you got the Wood Belly Pizza, Tasha? That was for that bicycle road.
The
You
what?
wanna do that
Grand
one separate?
Fondo.
The
The
Grand
Grand
Fondo? You wanna
Fondo.
put-
What's the pizza place called?
It's Woodbelly Pizza. Licensee's name is David Huck is the contact number. That's for the Grand Fondo reception on June 27th from 1 to 10 p.m.
Well, that was,
That's a-
no, we didn't, that shouldn't be in with the group. We'll look at that one afterwards.
Okay,
I just
so,
wanted to
okay,
do full
we'll
copies.
separate that one, Tasha. Don't put that in yet. All those in favor of all the applications for the special permit for Pocock Rocks, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Alrighty. So this one is June 27th, hours of operation beginning to end, 1 to 10 p.m. Approximate number of persons, 150 at the rec park.
Yeah, I mean, I know they have the Grand Fondo event and they end there, but I didn't, are they that late at night?
I think they're doing that's where they're doing the final party.
Well, yeah, but are they still 10?
Yeah,
Is it still 10?
because people tend to stay until the next day,
Mhm.
and so Troy came and talked to us at our Bristol core meeting. He said that they're having the party afterwards.
10 o'clock acceptable with you, Bruce?
Are they gonna be gone? Are they gonna be serving until 9 and then out by 10? Or are they saying, we're gonna serve until 10 and then we'll be cleaning up and out after that, do you know?
That would be a interesting question for Troy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you have a concern about that and you wanna make a stipulation?
Well, can we make a
When do we close- when do we
stipulation
close-
on the rec club property?
Well, we can as far as how late
And
they can serve.
Right.
I think we let Hatch serve until 11,
Midnight.
midnight.
Yeah.
I think 10 o'clock is
I think it's
Yeah.
fine,
it's fine.
yeah.
No later.
Mhm.
They are in somewhat of a residential, backside of a residential area. You know, you remember those days sitting at the back of a tailgate after a softball game?
I never did anything like that.
Cop come in at 1:30, 2 o'clock. You guys done yet? So,
Just finishing up.
okay, all those in favor of Woodbelly Pizza, please say aye. Oh, the motion is, I thought we were gonna, okay. I take a motion to
Was
second.
your motion for go put second?
No, it wasn't.
No.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion to second for Woodbelly Pizza at Rec Park on June 27th, 1 to 10. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Alrighty. Okay.
I think, didn't Hogback, I think they've changed their date on their
I
soft
was gonna
opening.
say, they had a hogback is back in there.
Yeah. If they didn't do it this past weekend, as we had approved for, I don't know why.
The date of event, May 4th, yes, Peter.
Yeah.
2 to 8 p.m.
So moved. We
Is that
approved
a
it.
special event?
It's,
Wasn't it
Well,
a soft opening?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
soft.
soft opening,
Down at the.
down at the,
Hogback
Rocky Dale.
Brewery.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's, I think it's, from what I looked at, it's the same thing that we approved last
week.
time, but they just had to change the date.
Okay, I'll
Is
second.
Yeah.
that your pen?
I'll second.
What was
Okay.
the time on that?
2 to 8?
2 to 8. And May
We'd
4th.
have to agree that they
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
all
we'll be
those-
ready.
any more comments on that?
No.
You had a motion, a second, right, Tasha?
Yes.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Then we had a couple of just liquor permits, that's it. Oh, wait a minute, there's one here.
Yeah, there's just one.
Art gallery, bookstore, museum,
Yeah,
art
we
on
just-
me,
We just.
June
Is that liquor?
7th, hours of operation,
Yeah, I looked at that. I wasn't sure what that was.
reception for community art show, front gallery. That's our location,
So
June
it is a
7th.
special event, so I remember.
Yeah, I guess so, but it's not on the special event. You know.
Neither is that one.
No, neither is that one either, I guess.
That's why I couldn't figure out what it was.
Well, this one is on the liquor control one for application for special event permit. This one's on art, well, they took their liquor, they took the, it's got the emblem in the front. This one is June 7th, 4:30 to 8 o'clock. At 25 Main Street for the front gallery reception for community art show. Doesn't say how much they're gonna serve, maybe the second page, no, the second page
No,
just.
that's just a certification. Who's doing it?
Yeah, that's the one question.
What's that for Anna Perkins? Contact name?
Yeah,
But
but
who's the
one-
license,
Who's the license
Art on Main,
certification?
name
Who's
of
the
business.
certification for? The back page. Because they have to have a licensed bartender.
Anna Perkins has
Oh, so
completed the
she's-
course. Says that this is certificate that Anna Perkins completed the course of bookstore and art gallery, library, museum permits certified.
Okay,
No,
so
it
she's
doesn't
not-
mean she can serve alcohol.
No.
So it doesn't say they're serving alcohol?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we need more information to know, are they serving
They were
alcohol?
filled out,
Who's doing
they
it?
filled out, it's on the Vermont Department of Liquor Control letterhead. It says, reception for a community art show. It just says hours of operation, doesn't say they're serving anything, but they made a check out for $20 for the Department of Liquor Control.
Maybe they're just gonna have a bottle line there for people along with their hors d'oeuvres or something.
Yeah, but they still have to have a
They might, I know that
license or.
Carolyn Ashby, when she worked there, she was licensed, so she could do it. So they might have another staff person who can do it, but
Well,
I don't know if Annie can do it.
Well, is that in, I was gonna say.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
And when is the event? June 7th?
June 7th.
We
They
have
still got
time.
time
We
to,
have
need to chase
time.
this down.
Yeah,
we need
Want
to
that
confirm this.
separated?
Sure.
I mean, DLC's not going to.
Give her a
No.
permit unless she's got somebody licensed.
Right, Peter. So, okay. We won't do that one. We did Hogback Brewery.
We could do it pending verification of a license.
Can do that.
We won't have to do it, we won't have to revisit it.
Yeah, she can just show the Valerie that,
Pending approval from Vermont Department of Liquor Control.
no, I think just showing that they have a licensed bartender or server, or whatever the terminology is, to Valerie, and it'll be fine.
We'll make that motion.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Sure. Yeah.
Motion is second to pending approval, showing the certificate to Valerie for Art on Main.
Should get that done.
Get all that?
Before you even.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're used to it.
Before he acted up.
I usually read it for him.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'll let you put that back in
As
there.
long as we know what we're
You wanna
voting
keep
on,
it
right?
still?
Yeah, keep it separate.
I understand Joel, so.
You got Joel talk? All right.
You've put up with them long enough, you should.
The other way around. Select board concerns. Let's start with Peter.
I'm good.
Ted?
I have not finished the plan for redoing the sound system out of the park. I'll have that ready for the next meeting.
Okay.
It's going to involve some excavation. It's going to have to be done differently so that it doesn't get damaged anymore. And I will call Dig Safe and take care of all the rest of that. But I'll come up with the plan next meeting.
Okay. Michelle?
I don't have anything, I just wanted to check with Ted. Do you know did they move that other empty trailer out of the trailer park yet?
I didn't go over there. I was going to do that today. I was going to do it tomorrow.
Because I wondered if that increased, because once they move the home out,
They gotta go somewhere.
they gotta go somewhere.
Oh, they had already pretty much died down and moved somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who were really plagued with the vermin said they haven't even seen any.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Peter?
I haven't been around,
Yeah, we know.
Been out of touch, huh?
Touch. How was Texas? Big?
yeah. Big and fast.
I just have one.
Friendly.
Peter, you brought a concern 3 weeks ago about the sidewalk up between Spring Street and the school, that new sidewalk that's...
Yes.
I took a look at it too, and I just looked back, but there was nothing in the specs that said it had to be certain heights,
Right.
so I'm not sure we have a leg to stand on.
And,
Maybe we can get them to cut off like they're doing on
Shave the dirt.
shave the dirt.
The dirt is higher on the green space between the sidewalk and the road.
And I think maybe that, for future reference, we should have that in our specs, that be certain heights off the... Yeah, so that's...
And also just the amount of snow that we had this winter, and that is a low spot, so that's where everything went, because it couldn't go out.
Right, so...
But
Okay.
it's just discouraging to have that on a brand new sidewalk.
Yeah, it is. And have we picked a date yet for Or are we going to have one or right around
No, we have not picked a date. Do you
someone's
wanna,
concerned?
you wanna do that?
What's your pleasure?
The bus tour?
The bus tour.
I think last year was in June, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
was it
It
May?
was in June.
June.
Yeah.
You guys on your phones and I get out the paper.
Yeah, very much so.
No, things change that often. Yeah, I need to see it from you.
Uh-huh.
I got a lot of blue lines in June.
Yeah.
That's
That's
not
good.
too
That's a
many.
lot for me.
Would it be on a regular select board night or a
Not
special?
usually. Usually we
It
do it on a
shouldn't be.
Thursday night. That's what we had been doing.
Well,
Maybe a
Wednesday or
night.
Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday night.
This
Can't
means
be,
I have to
can't be
leave
the
work
first
early.
Wednesday. Or
Yeah,
the
Can't be the
third,
fifth.
or the third Wednesday.
Or the 19th.
Actually,
Oh my God, you guys.
well, no, actually, I think you changed, we're doing more Wednesday nights, right?
Yeah, unless
Yes.
Saturdays.
Huh?
Yeah, unless Saturdays, yes. 13th?
I can't do the 13th.
Of which month?
Actually,
June.
June.
I probably can do the 13th.
So
I
that's
don't
the
know if there's a
Thursday.
meeting I have it set up for that day, so.
What time?
Well, you guys usually do like 3 o'clock or 3:30 or something like that.
I think last year was 5 o'clock.
No, it wasn't that, that's work early. It was before that.
We didn't do one last year, did we? We did.
Yeah, we
do
did.
one.
We did.
Sorry, we did. It was the year before we didn't do
Yeah, if
it.
it's the 13th, have to be at least 4 o'clock for me.
4 works for me. Peter, can you shut that
Yeah,
down?
yeah. I'll just,
Lose out all that gravel sale.
I'll just
Put
have
somebody
that,
else in
yeah.
charge. Let Heather do it.
He's got help, he's got people.
He's got
People
people.
like people do it.
Okay, so 4 o'clock on the 13th. Bus tour.
Oh, I'm putting road trip.
I know.
And I'll
You'll get the bus, Joel?
I can get the
You'll
bus.
arrange the bus?
Yeah, I can get the bus, and I'll get a driver.
it is the
Well,
13th.
you know you can let me drive.
Okay, good.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
And the only thing, when we were talking about your battery backup there,
Oh, right.
you guys, I was texting when Ian was talking, I was texted my IT person. Battery lasts about 5 years, a backup battery, UPS, and they're about $150 to $175.
For a small one, yeah.
Yeah.
That would do just one.
One computer.
Right.
But, yeah, we'd probably have one for Jen's computer too. She
Yeah,
doesn't know.
yeah.
I thought she
So-
had one on hers though.
She might.
She might have hers, so, anyway, that's all I had, that's all. Okay.
Road trip, you said June 13th.
June 13th, 4 o'clock, starts here.
That way I get all day to think about it.
Okay, town administrators report?
The only thing I have to add related to that V-Trans grant, it was very frustrating because I think the grant application itself was quite strong, but the program that I applied under, it was kind of a hybrid application because they have the structures grant program, which class 1, 2, and 3 roads can qualify for, but the structures have to be a 36-inch culvert or a retaining wall, something substantial. Or they have their class 2 project, class 2 road projects for infrastructure, things like catch basins and drainage improvements and things like that. But Main Street and East Street are class 1. So the dry wells and the culverts that we propose to replace don't meet the definition of the structures for the structures grant. And it's a class 1 road, so it doesn't meet the class 2 scope of work. Even though, I mean, it does meet the scope of work, but doesn't qualify because it's a class 1. So,
We could
and
put a
I
36
thought,
inch
you know,
in.
would they consider a hybrid application? Is there some fine print somewhere where you can find a way to
We could have put a
approve it?
36 in, I guess.
Yeah, we could have put a 36 inch culvert in.
What were we gonna put in?
What a waste of money.
18.
Yeah, it would be, but.
Ours are 18. So anyway, I just thought I'd pass that along, but it was because it's a class 1 road. That's why we didn't get it.
Okay.
Alrighty, anything else?
No, not at the moment.
But yeah, they want us to do this stormwater mitigation and they don't.
Well, that's the government way. Make the rules, but don't back it up with any money.
Okay, other business? You had that on there just in case you might have got an application for a couple of water taps?
That person didn't want to go forward.
Okay.
No, I had put that as a specific agenda item and then we took it off.
Now, can I ask you a question about your tree warden stuff?
Yeah.
The stuff you have on, is it 34 Pleasant?
Yep.
There's a sugar mill. You said the property owner's okay with its removal. Is that on their property or is that within the town right away?
I think it's between the sidewalk and the road.
Is that what it is? That's what I wanted to find out, you know, are we responsible for taking it down or is the homeowner?
We usually
It's
have
between that,
sidewalk and the
between the
road.
sidewalk and the road, it's ours.
Well, it doesn't say that.
It's theirs,
so
but it's
that's
ours.
why I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I just wanted to check to make sure that we were okay with that.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because related to the Maple Street tree replacements from the ones that were taken down last year, the select board approved the autumn blaze maple trees. One property owner would like to swap it out for a sugar maple.
I thought we weren't putting sugar maples in.
And this one would be, this is on Doug Corkin's property, and it would be off the road,
Oh,
so further
well,
into
he's the
the...
one, no, he's the
Further
one
onto
that
his
we,
lawn.
Right,
Between
away
the
from
sidewalk that we
Yes.
agreed, we'd
Yeah.
put one in.
we
It'd
said
be on
he
the inside of
could
the
have one,
sidewalk.
but
Right.
it had to be farther on his property.
Right, and then, so it won't be as susceptible to the salt and
Right.
other things from the road. So
Right.
does the select board have any concern about that?
No, because we had already told him we
Yeah.
would allow him to do that as long as it was on his property.
Right.
And we weren't
Same price.
maintaining it.
Right,
Yeah, we put it in, that was the end of it.
Right.
right, we're done.
Okay, good.
And what about the tree that Ted talked about at the end of, up top of Garfield?
Read on.
John,
Read on.
John's gonna cut that down.
He's
Yeah.
gonna- I thought I read that,
Yeah.
so it's gonna take, that's on the inside of the sidewalk, I guess, or on,
No,
between the
it's-
sidewalk and the road?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. Alrighty, any other?
Nope.
Okay, executive session you have?
Personnel
Yep,
matters.
personnel, Michelle?
Okay, make a motion that we enter into executive session to discuss personnel issues for pursuant to 1 VSA subsection 313.
Thank you.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Right.
Opposed? Okay.